The Thing That Watched Us. A true camping horror story. They say the forest is never truly silent, but that night it was. And somehow, that made it worse. It was the summer of 2017. My friends and I, Jason, Mark, Elena, and me, decided to spend a weekend camping in the Appalachian Mountains. We wanted an escape from our phones, our jobs, and the noise of the city. The drive up took almost 6 hours, twisting through back roads until cell service vanished and the last gas station disappeared behind us. The ranger at the park gate warned us, "Don't camp off trail. The woods get confusing out there." We laughed it off. We wanted to be alone. We hiked deeper than we should have, finding a clearing beside a narrow creek. The air smelled like pine and damp earth. The sun dipped behind the trees, painting everything in orange and gold. It felt like the kind of night that would stay in your memory forever. We built a small fire, roasted food, and joked until our faces hurt. Around midnight, the air got colder. The woods grew still, too still. No crickets, no owls, just the faint crackle of the fire and the sound of the water trickling behind us. Mark said, "It's weird how quiet it is out here." Elena replied, "Maybe the animals are asleep." But I remember thinking, it felt like they were hiding. A branch cracked somewhere behind our tents. Jason stood up, scanning the tree line with his flashlight. "Probably a deer," he said, though he didn't sound convinced. We heard it again. Footsteps, slow and heavy, moving around the perimeter of our campsite. Then silence. Jason shouted, "Hello! Who's out there?" No answer. We waited, barely breathing. The firelight flickered, and the shadows danced across the trees like figures closing in. After a few minutes, everything went still again. We convinced ourselves it was an animal and decided to turn in for the night. The others fell asleep quickly, but I lay awake, staring at the dim glow of the fire through the tent fabric. That's when I heard it. A faint dragging sound, like someone slowly walking through leaves and brush. The sound circled our tent once, twice, then stopped right outside. My heart hammered. I whispered, "Jason?" No reply. Then, from somewhere beyond the firelight, came a voice. "Help! Me!" It was soft, female, and trembling, like someone hurt or lost. Elena sat up. "Did you hear that?" Jason unzipped the tent and stepped out, flashlight in hand. "Hello, do you need help?" he called. The beam cut through the trees. Nothing, just endless darkness. "Maybe she fell or something," Elena whispered. Jason took a few steps forward. The voice came again. "Help! Me!" Only this time it was further away, and slightly distorted, like it was repeating itself. Jason froze. That doesn't sound right. The woods went quiet again. The only sound was the faint crackle of the fire. Then, "Jason, come back here." We all turned toward the sound. My voice, coming from the woods. Except I hadn't said a word. Jason backed up slowly, eyes wide. "It's mimicking us," he whispered. The next moment, the dragging steps came back. Faster, circling us, leaves crunching, twigs snapping. And then, everything stopped. That's when we ran. No gear, no cooler, no fire. Just flashlights and panic. Sprinting through the dark trail until the trees thinned, and we saw the outline of the ranger station in the distance. When we returned with a ranger the next morning, the camp was untouched, except for a single human footprint in the mud beside the tent. It was barefoot. The ranger stared at it for a long time, then said quietly, "You're lucky you left. Others don't." To this day, when I think about that night, I still hear it sometimes, faintly, on windy nights when I'm alone. "Help me." The Hollow Creek Disappearance. A camping horror story. They say if you camp near Hollow Creek, you shouldn't whistle after midnight. I didn't believe that kind of thing. Not until last summer. It was supposed to be a short, peaceful weekend. My friend Mason and I had been road tripping through the Pacific Northwest, stopping wherever the map showed a river or a forest trail. We'd done dozens of campsites before, but Hollow Creek wasn't one of them. It wasn't even on the map. We found it by accident, off an old logging road, a half-mile beyond a rusted gate marked "No Trespassing." The place was perfect. Tall cedar trees, a cold rushing creek, and just enough space for our tent. No one else around. By sunset, the forest looked beautiful. The kind of quiet that makes you feel small. The only sound was the water and the occasional rustle of wind through the branches. That night, as we sat by the fire, I noticed something strange. No animal sounds. No crickets. No frogs. Nothing. Just silence. Mason said maybe it was too cold. But when the temperature dropped and our breath began to fog, it felt more like the forest was holding its breath. We went to sleep around 1 a.m. I don't remember drifting off. Just the sound of the creek outside and the soft hiss of the fire dying down. Then I woke up to the sound of footsteps. They were slow, steady. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Circling our tent. I whispered, "Mason, you awake?" He didn't respond. The footsteps stopped. I thought it was an animal until I heard a whistle, a short, high-pitched tune, almost like a bird, but not quite. It repeated every few seconds, like someone trying to mimic a song they half remembered. Then a voice, "Come look at the creek." It was Mason's voice, but he was right beside me, still asleep. I froze, every muscle in my body locked up. The voice outside said it again, a little clearer this time. "Come look at the creek." The zipper on the tent rustled, like someone brushing against it. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't move. I shook Mason awake, whispering, "Someone's outside." He blinked, confused, until the whistle came again. His face went pale. "That's my voice," he whispered. We both listened, barely breathing. The footsteps began again, moving away from the tent, toward the creek. We heard splashing, then silence. Mason grabbed the flashlight and unzipped the tent just enough to peek out. The beam swept over the campsite. Nothing, just the creek, glimmering in the moonlight. But when the light passed over the trees, something ducked out of sight. Tall, thin, moving wrong. We bolted. Didn't grab anything. Just ran through the woods, following the road until we found the truck. By the time we got back to the main road, it was almost dawn. Neither of us said a word. Later, when we went online to see if Hollow Creek was a real place, we found nothing. No listings, no photos. But on an old hiking forum, someone had posted 10 years earlier, "Don't camp past the gate. The Whistler lives there. It calls you by name, and it always sounds like someone you know." We never went back, but sometimes, late at night when I can't sleep, I swear I still hear it. That same soft whistle, somewhere just outside my window. We were 4 friends, me, Ravi, Neil, and Karan, camping in the Satpura forests for the weekend. It was supposed to be a quiet escape from the city. No cell signals, no noise, just the crackling of firewood and the sound of the night. The first night was peaceful. We grilled some food, told ghost stories, and laughed till the embers died down. But around 2 a.m., Ravi shook me awake. "Bro, did you hear that?" he whispered. I listened. There was a faint sound, like footsteps circling the tent. Dry leaves crunching under slow, deliberate steps. Then silence. We froze, holding our breath. Karin unzipped the tent and flashed. His torch around. Nothing. Just trees and darkness. By morning, we laughed it off. Probably an animal. But when we stepped out, we found human footprints around the tent, barefoot and small. That night, things got stranger. We were sitting by the fire when we heard a voice from the woods. Neil's voice. "Hey, come here. I found something." We all turned toward the sound. But Neil was sitting right next to me. His face went pale. "That's not me." The voice called again, closer this time. "Come here." We shone our flashlights toward the trees, but the light seemed to get swallowed by the darkness. Then we heard branches breaking, something moving fast between the trees. Ravi whispered, "Let's get inside the tent." We zipped it up tight and killed the lantern. The forest went dead silent. Then it started mimicking all of us. First Ravi, then Karin, then me. Each voice perfect, calling out softly from different directions. "Come here. Guys, over here. Don't be scared." By 3 a.m., the voices faded. None of us slept. At dawn, we packed up fast. But before we left, Neil noticed something carved into a tree near our camp. A sentence, written crudely, as if with a nail or knife. "I was here with you all night. We never went camping again."